terrifying dreams that become reality? What mystical force is claiming the lives of young women in a family one by one? And can the people with supernatural abilities stop it? You're watching Psychic Investigations, a channel of exclusively true and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate incredible mystical phenomena and high-profile criminal cases. A 40-year-old Ukrainian homemaker, Natalia Nazarenko, has reached out to the psychics for help. She's the mother of 2 daughters, 20-year-old Oksana and little Olena, who is just 7. Her relationships with the girls' fathers didn't work out, so she's raising them alone, and she's pleading for help.
I want to study. I love writing poetry. I really love singing.
But Oksana's mother fears that all these dreams may be cut short by sudden, premature death. The poor woman is terrified that a dark fate may claim her daughter's life, and it seems her fear isn't unfounded. Just days ago, Oksana confessed that strange and frightening things had begun happening to her. Out of nowhere, her legs stopped working.
She collapsed at work. Her legs went numb and she couldn't feel them. It's so horrible. It's pure horror.
Natalia recalled a strange dream in which she was walking through a cemetery.
And someone beside me called out and said, "Your daughter is dead."
In that dream, Natalia saw something she'll never forget.
I saw a gravestone, and on it was the silhouette of a person covered in a blue cloth. I knew it was my daughter.
To prevent tragedy, the frightened mother turned to clairvoyants Olena Kurylova and Gala Polishchuk. Before the investigation, the psychics share their impressions.
She's alive, but there's this black sticky substance surrounding her, like a death aura. At night, I felt the presence of 2 spirits.
They seem to share a family bond.
And between their deaths, there's the birth of a child.
Natalia waits for the psychics in the Central Park. She chose not to bring her daughters there, hoping to understand everything herself and not to frighten them.
Hello, I'm so glad to see you.
There's a kind of cosmic pain in your eyes.
I'd even say resignation. As if you're ready to accept something terrible in your life. We need to tune into the girl. Do you have anything of hers? A personal item?
Yes.
Hold on. Think about your daughter. I sense a curse. I feel harmful words. I sense some kind of magic.
What kind of magic is this? Is Oksana truly in mortal danger? But who could wish harm upon her, and why?
At that moment, I heard the voice of an older woman in the ether. Curses were spilling from her lips. But we yet had to find out whether this was directed at Oksana.
Hala, what's most striking about this notebook is that it's full of emotion. See? There's a hint of pain and fear here, and thoughts of death.
And it's true. Just days ago, Natalia stumbled upon a suicide note written by her daughter in that very notebook.
If I ever leave this world, this is my testament. There's a little girl running around her room. Does she have a sister?
Yes, she does. Ilona.
They don't look alike. The younger one, she's like a spark. Angelic age, 5, 6, or 7 years old.
She'll be 7 soon.
7. You're afraid for the younger one, too.
I am. I'm afraid for both of them.
It seems danger hangs over your younger daughter as well. Again, I heard the old woman's voice saying, "May you be cursed." But who was she? Who was she cursing and why? At that moment, I saw Oksana's image, and beside her was the spirit of a young woman. I tried to mentally transmit the image to Olena. Do you feel it, Olena? A spirit next to Oksana?
It approaches her and stands next to her, and then I feel a chill down my spine.
Who is the spirit the clairvoyants see?
There are 2 spirits.
2 young women. the card of the family. Both girls merge into one. I see one lying in a coffin. I don't know what this means, but they look so alike.
They're my nieces, Tonya and Natalia. They both passed away.
It turns out that about 2.5 years ago, Natalia's 24-year-old niece, Tonya, the daughter of her sister Valentina, died. She was married and raising her daughter, Karina. One evening, she went to bed and never woke up.
They did an autopsy. The doctor said the cause was undetermined. He told us, it's fate. But what kind of diagnosis is that?
It's impossible that someone with no complaints whatsoever goes to sleep and never wakes up.
9 months later, however, the family was struck again. Out of nowhere, their younger daughter, Natalia, died. She was only 21. Just like her sister, she was married and raising a daughter named Rita.
Again, the doctors found nothing. It was a terrible tragedy. First, I lost one daughter, then the other. My husband and I are now all alone. We have no more children.
Sudden death syndrome. That was the diagnosis in both cases, as the doctors couldn't explain why the sister's heart stopped, especially since neither had any health issue.
I don't even know how to explain this to my granddaughters.
There was something mystical involved.
Such a devastating blow for the parents. It was something otherworldly.
There's no explanation for why they died. It's a mystery.
It's the mysterious and unexplained deaths of her nieces that have Natalia so worried about Oksana's life. That's why she turned to the clairvoyants for help.
My daughter is now approaching the same age my nieces were. I'm terrified that, God forbid, the same thing could happen again. I won't let it happen.
Let's visit Tonya and Natalia's parents.
The clairvoyants and Natalia go to meet the sisters' parents, whose grief defies words.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
The energy in your home feels very heavy.
Living like we do, I wouldn't wish it on an enemy. It's not life, it's just existence.
They looked so alike, almost identical. I see the same face in the coffin.
Natalia was exactly like Tonya.
I see an image like a big family bed. She's holding her child. Total peace. And then later, what's her husband's name?
Ihor.
Right. He strokes her gently, and then in the morning he's shaking her, shouting.
Tonya went to bed that night. Natalia was with her and little Rita. They'd been out walking. Her husband's a taxi driver, so he wasn't home. Around midnight, she called my wife. They chatted. Everything was fine.
I said, we'll talk in the morning, but we never did.
Valentina and Alexander will never forget that morning. They arrived at their eldest daughter's home. She lived in a nearby village with her husband and his parents. Ihor answered the door.
We entered and saw Tonya lying there. Little Karina was beside her on the bed. They were sleeping. We didn't wake them.
He said, look how peacefully they're sleeping. Tonya looked like she was just asleep. You couldn't tell she wasn't breathing. I went to Natalia's room, woke her up and said, let's get ready to go home.
While Valentina was waking her younger daughter, her husband had already realized that Tonya was dead.
We called an ambulance. They came and said she was gone.
It was a shock.
Sudden, unexplained death. Please look in the mirror. This isn't a medical diagnosis, it's like an electric discharge. Like a bolt of energy.
I sensed the blow came earlier. The death itself was just the consequence of something that happened before. She had a better fate. Her husband truly loved her.
They lived well.
Tonya met Ihor at a gas station. She worked there, and he was a regular customer.
Tonya was my daughter-in-law. It hurts me so much. She was a wonderful girl. They loved each other.
But the younger sister, I sense her fate wasn't as kind. I don't know if she divorced her husband, but I feel they didn't live well together.
Off camera, Valentina and Alexander admit that their younger daughter's marriage was troubled.
The same thing happened to the younger sister. But she didn't die in her sleep. She passed away while awake. She was sitting.
Yes,
Am I right?
at the table.
Like this.
That's what we were told.
After another argument with her husband, Natalia went to visit her friend. Their classmate was with them.
The three of us were sitting at the table, and suddenly, Natalia started to slump. When she collapsed to the floor, we immediately realized this was no joke. We couldn't believe it.
The doctors that arrived could only confirm her death. But the cause remains unknown. Why did two young women, sisters, die so suddenly and inexplicably, and within such a short time?
Look at the facts. The place, the time, and the circumstances. They all aligned. A specific date was formed, just like we carry a baby for 9 months. 9 months later, you had another funeral. Birth and death have reversed in your life.
It's hard to believe. But Tonya died on January 21st, and Natalia exactly 9 months later, on October 21st. Both women died on Friday.
From Thursday to Friday at 3 a.m. Same kind of death.
The code was set long ago. This isn't your ancestral home. The house was purchased long ago. You've added to it. You rebuilt it.
Yes, yes.
There's something cursed in this house. Black magic. There are cat bones here. A handful of them wrapped with a rope. Have you found anything like that?
We have. A tuft of fur bound with black thread and wrapped in paper. We found it by accident during the renovation.
But what kind of discovery is this?
There was another presence here. Someone else who died. Seems it was someone young.
A young man who was born sick.
A young man, yes. He died before you moved in.
A man lived here and his son died. He had trouble walking.
Indeed, the first family to live in this house had a son with a disability.
I received information that after the boy's death, his family fell apart. The parents divorced.
We spoke to dozens of the villagers. They say that after the son died, the parents immediately sold the house. Rumor has it they did indeed divorce.
And they didn't separate for no reason. That bundle, dog and cat bones and fur, was made by a woman who was in love with the boy's father, but he was already married and likely didn't notice her attention.
The woman became bitter and sought revenge. So she cast a spell, a curse to cause conflict so that anyone living in the house would quarrel and families would fall apart. She never imagined the house would be sold and that new residents could suffer too.
It's horrifying, but the daughters had grown up, married, had children, and hadn't lived in that house for years. So why did this tragedy befall them?
I felt that the girls' deaths were caused by the curse triggered by a magical act. But the magic didn't take effect immediately because someone had been praying fervently for the family's well-being. There was a woman who protected them with her prayers, but she died a year before the tragedy.
It turned out that a year before the sisters died, their grandmother, Nina, passed away. She was deeply devout.
After that, misfortune knocked on the door. The family line began to unravel. You know, It takes 9 months to bring a child into the world, and 9 months for a lineage to collapse. 9 months separated Tonia's and Natalia's deaths. That's very symbolic. A curse and harsh words, and the karma, the energy of those hidden objects, they all tied into a knot.
What is the psychic talking about? Were the sisters truly cursed? And if so, by whom?
Unknowingly, every member of this family contributed to the girls' deaths. Because of the cursed object embedded in the house's walls, they fought like cats and dogs. I sense an elderly woman. She harbors deep hatred. It feels like she's a relative. Have you held resentment in your life towards someone in your family? Perhaps your mother?
Alexander, what's your mother's name?
Olena.
Your mother lives nearby, doesn't she? I don't know why or what caused the hatred, but it radiates. It's like it's coming from behind you. That cursed object spread very negative energy, affecting Valentina and Alexander's family. Right after the wedding, they started arguing with the groom's mother. There was a prejudiced, hostile attitude toward your family and your children. Something happened, but I can't tell what exactly.
Look into this mirror.
What happened between your eldest daughter and your mother?
Alexander struggled to understand what the clairvoyants were referring to, but his wife immediately knew. At the time, their eldest daughter was 10. The younger one was 7, and they were visiting their grandmother.
They were playing in the yard. Something upset his mother, and she chased them off. The little girls had to walk 3 kilometers through the woods. Alexander went looking for them and found them. Clearly, my children meant nothing to her. She let them walk home alone through the forest.
The relationship between the elderly woman and her son and daughter-in-law worsened daily. They truly fought like cats and dogs.
When Alexander married, he devoted all his energy, attention, and money to his wife and daughters. Naturally, his mother didn't like that, and she became very jealous.
Maybe I wasn't the daughter-in-law she wanted.
Here's how the grandmother of the deceased sisters responded.
Ask my son why he doesn't need his parents, and go to hell, all of you. I don't owe you any explanations.
One thing is clear, this family is deeply fractured, and its members can't find common ground. They argue constantly. But how do these family feuds relate to the deaths of Tonia and Natalia?
I constantly feel Natalia's presence here. She's calling out.
We're going to the curse. Your mother, she's reckless with her words. She didn't know what she was doing.
She said it in the heat of emotion.
People often don't realize that their words and thoughts can create real misfortunes, illnesses, and even death for their loved ones.
Does it mean the grandmother unknowingly brought death upon her granddaughters?
The curse came from something simple. Hurt feelings. Tiny things that spilled out as curses. No one is to blame. But the spoken word played its part.
So Tonia and Natalia died because of a grandmother's curse, spoken out of resentment, fueled by an old family curse of conflict. Could tragedy have been avoided if the family had tried to reconcile?
There's a plea. She's asking, I forgive you, and you forgive me. Grandma was harsh with us, but she's good. I forgive her. I still love her.
This is mind-bending. But does this mean that Oksana and Olena, the cousins of the deceased sisters, are also at risk? After all, they're part of the same family.
Oksana, don't be afraid. Everything will be fine. This family grieved deeply for the two sisters. Both Oksana and little Olena believed the same fate awaited them. They lived with the thought that they would die soon. That's why misfortune and danger clung to them.
To ease the family's fears, not just for Oksana and Olena, but also for little Rita and Karina, we decided to perform a cleansing ritual.
Think kindly of the living, and of the dead too.
As the sun set, the clairvoyants lit a fire and conducted the ritual for nearly an hour.
What could have continued to harm you has burned.
Perhaps now, with the clairvoyants having explained the roots of their misfortunes, the family quarrels will end, and there will be no more deaths.
Thank you so much.
My heart feels lighter. Now I have hope that everything will be okay.
We're very grateful. I feel calm about my children now. The panic is gone.
I think our lives will get better after this.
A murderous, otherworldly force took a young athlete's life and is now after his sister. Can the psychics stop the evil entity and solve a fatal death formula? This photo shows the Kolodenko family in its entirety. Parents, Irina and Viktor, and their two children. And this is a more recent picture of the same family, excluding the eldest son. The boy tragically passed away.
15-year-old Valek was brought to the city hospital in a coma. The medics diagnosed intracranial hemorrhage.
Valek was an athlete, a professional freestyle wrestler. He held the title of junior champion of Ukraine and dreamed of becoming a world champion. Nevertheless, during a routine training session, he unexpectedly died from a blow to the head.
I received a call from Valek's phone. I thought it was him, but it was Elvir. He said, "Aunt Irina, Valek lost consciousness during a sparring. I ran there as fast as I could. The ambulance was already there, and they were putting him in it. He was in a coma."
The mother can't understand how this could have happened. After all, her son had many times participated in professional competitions where partners went all out, while this was just a training match outdoors.
It is almost impossible to deliver a blow of such force to kill a person, especially since the boys were wearing protective gear.
What were Valek and Fazik wearing?
Valek was in gloves and a helmet.
The young athlete spent 7 long days in the hospital, unconscious.
Everyone believed and hoped he would survive.
The boy's internal organs began to fail one after another. He suffered 2 cardiac arrests, and when it happened the 3rd time, the doctors couldn't start his heart.
On October 10th, Valek died, having never come out of the coma. His mother still doesn't understand how her son could have died so suddenly and under such strange circumstances.
Could there be otherworldly forces involved?
Karina is now in the 8th grade. She dreams of becoming a doctor to save people, but her mother is worried that her daughter's dream may not come true.
I'm so worried about her. It's a pathological fear.
And the fear is not unfounded because the girl has been seeing the same nightmare for several months. Her deceased brother comes to her in her dreams.
Everything around is black, and I only see myself and him.
To find out what really happened to her son and whether something is indeed threatening her daughter, Irina, in desperation, sent a letter to our project's editorial office. 2 of our most powerful psychics, Kayal Alekperov and Olena Kurylova, rushed to help.
I have a feeling that there were 3 deaths here at once, on the same day. And they were painful deaths. It feels like some kind of mass murder. Since yesterday, I've been experiencing a series of strange coincidences. I live on the 12th floor, and when I pressed the elevator button, it only took me to the 10th floor. I booked a train ticket, and my seat was number 10 again. I called a taxi, and the car's plate number was 1010. And now my room number at the hotel is also 10. It's clearly some kind of sign. Maybe it's a hint?
I don't know, Olena. When I looked at the photos of the brother and sister, I saw them in a small black room. It was empty, and only a calendar hung on the wall behind the girl. Suddenly, a silhouette approached the calendar. I couldn't make out what it was, but it started quickly tearing off the dates. And then it disappeared, along with Valak and Karina. Hello?
Please come in.
It's hard to explain, but as soon as the psychics get down to work, the dog starts to behave very strangely.
He loved the dog a lot.
It's his dog.
The dog started barking to get our attention. He loved Valak very much and felt the impending danger.
About a week before it happened, he started howling. It gave me goosebumps. I went outside and I got so angry at him. They say a dog howls at the deceased.
The dog howled because he felt the presence of dangerous energy in the house. It seems something took Valak to the other side.
After your son's death, the dog should have calmed down. How does he behave in the evenings now?
He's howling terribly. I'm still struggling to come to terms with that and this howling.
And that was a bad sign. He sees something supernatural and means there could be another death in the house soon.
Your daughter is indeed in danger. We need to see her.
Hello.
Hello.
You loved your brother so much. Don't cry, please. We are here to help.
Karina is deeply affected by Valak's death, as the relationship between the brother and his younger sister was very warm.
In her letter, your mother mentioned that your brother often visits you in your dreams. Do you remember what he tells you?
We stood facing each other, and I was crying very hard. He told me to calm down.
When I placed Karina's hand on my holy book, I saw the picture from her dream. It turned out that the vision that came to me last night when I was working with the photo was her dream. I see the brother and sister in a small black room. The room is empty, and only a calendar hangs on the wall behind the girl. Karina didn't see that supernatural silhouette behind her in her dream. But I couldn't make out whose silhouette it was, and I didn't understand why it needed the calendar. I see he also visited you when you were awake.
Yes. It was before the 40 days passed. One Monday, I went outside and a bird flew to me and it sat on my hand like this. I thought it was Valak. I didn't shoo it away and I said, "Valak, I love you," and it flew away.
To tune in to the energy of the house, Olena Kurylova decided to work with a mirror.
10. Information is coming from the mirror. There were several of them. Another man left. And it's somehow connected to the number 10.
Valak's dad died on October 10th, too.
2 deaths in the same family on the same date. Valak passed away on October 10th, and 5 years prior, on that very day, his father, Sasha, Irina's first husband, had also died.
Valek's father died a martyr's death. He was in immense pain. Everything inside him was burning.
He had liver cancer. Valek was 10 years old then. He took it very hard. He loved his father. They were so alike.
The family grieved heavily for the loss of father. But life went on, and Irina remarried to Victor.
At first, Valek wouldn't let him near me or me near him. "Go away, don't touch my mom," he would say. But then he started calling him Dad.
The woman was happy again. She had a complete family, a loving husband, and 2 children. But soon after, tragedy struck again, and Valek died.
There's some mystery in these deaths on these dates. I remembered the number 10 that's been haunting me since the previous day. I realized that the mystery lied within the number itself. It's like a death formula for this family.
But the psychic had sensed 3 deaths on the same date right from the beginning of the investigation.
I immediately sensed that there were 3 deaths here. It's like some kind of mass murder.
But who or what is taking the members of this family to the afterlife?
Olena, let's go outside. I see a woman.
Where's Kayal going?
I need to catch up with her. I saw an elderly woman peering over the fence. She had a floral headscarf on her head. A cat was standing nearby, and the woman vanished into thin air. The woman is no more among the living. Look, there's number 10 on the post.
A 10 again. There's something connected to the number 10 here.
Could it be my mother? Because she also passed away on October 10th.
It's just mind-boggling. Valek, his father, and his grandmother all passed away on the same date. The woman died of a heart attack.
I feel like collecting death certificates with October 10th in them.
To understand what's taking your loved ones, we must go to the site of the last tragedy.
The death of the young athlete during a training session indeed shocked all his colleagues and coaches. Valek was sparring with his classmate, junior world karate champion Fazik Abiev.
There were dark forces at play, giving one hand inhuman strength.
The psychics head to the location of Valek's final match. That day, the boy wasn't training in the gym, but on a wasteland not far from the school. By the time the clairvoyants reached the site of the fatal duel, it was dark outside.
Olena, I see the dark silhouette from my vision.
Kayal ran somewhere again.
I can't believe it. It's gone. But I finally managed to have a good look at it. It held watches in both hands. It's the Grim Reaper, counting down life's time. I need to tune into that day's events. I see 3 boys here, your son, a dark-skinned boy, and another slightly older teenager.
Like a referee.
Yes, the referee.
It seems the dark-skinned boy Kayal Alekperov saw is Valek's opponent, Fazik. He was the one who landed the fatal blow during the training bout.
At this spot, your son lost consciousness. I see a hand delivering the fatal blow, and it's not human. It's the hand of a massive beast. It possessed the dark-skinned boy, and this beast struck twice. Your son fell but managed to get back up. But the second blow was fatal. Did you sense something at that moment?
I was dialing him at that moment. I wanted to talk to him, but he didn't pick up the phone.
According to witness statements, the boys were evenly matched for 5 out of 10 rounds, with no direct hits. Midway through the 6th round, Valak took 2 punches to the head. He then fell and lost consciousness. He never regained it.
And here, Kayal and I felt the second victim, who felt like he would rather cut off his hand, because that hand was in the fight.
I sense suspicious glances directed at that boy. Behind his back, they call him a murderer.
Yes, that's true.
Irina knows Fazik well. He was her son's classmate and trained at the same sports club as Valak. The boy's father shared how heavily his son took his friend's death.
2 days after his death, I found him crying under the blanket. I lifted the blanket and gently woke him up, saying, "Fazik, why are you crying?" And he said, "Dad, I feel sorry for Valak. I didn't mean to do it."
Fazik himself doesn't understand how it happened, and he probably can't explain his state at that moment. But I'm sure he became a tool in the hands of otherworldly forces. And your heart, Irina, tells you he's sincere when he says he didn't mean to do it.
Yes, I saw him. I talked to him. He came to the hospital and he apologized, saying, "Aunt Irina, I didn't mean to kill him."
Here he is, Fazik, whom half the town calls a murderer behind his back.
It was all an accident. We were practicing our technique. We'd agreed on that. It was all an accident.
The police insisted on charging Fazik Abiev with involuntary manslaughter, but Valak's mother did not press charges. She didn't want to ruin the boy's life.
In this situation, someone else would sue him and he'd be in jail by now. But I didn't do it. I have no right to ruin someone else's life.
I bow to her, the mother who supported me. She comforted both Fazik and me. She said, "It's sports. Anything can happen. No matter what, I understand it, and I'm not going to sue you."
This seemingly fragile woman is indeed very strong in spirit. She has endured the death of her first husband and the tragic loss of her son, and now she is doing everything to protect her daughter, Karina, from death.
The entire family has a death formula. It's like, an equation that always equals 10. No matter how the numbers and life dates are arranged, the death formula equals 10. On the 10th of every month, go to church. Do it always. Please. I hear a voice from far away. Is it just me, or does everyone hear it?
What did you hear?
Valak, graveyard, go. The voice is female.
We need to go to the graveyard. Your son's spirit is here now.
My dear son, I love you so much. I miss you terribly.
The spirit is leaving us now. Wait. He's returning, but not alone. There's a girl with him.
She's a bit older than him. A blood relative. Her head is gone. A truck or a train, something big, like a sudden impact. Boom, and in a second, she's gone.
His aunt. She was 20 when a truck hit her.
I see 2 bodies. the girl and a young man.
They were coming back from a disco when the truck's trailer came loose and killed both of them instantly.
I see another violent death. A large man takes a stone in his hand and hits a younger man, your relative, on the head. He falls dead.
I don't know about that. It might be my husband's relative.
Yes, it's your husband's brother. In his family, many people died young.
His grandfather, Valak, was first. Then his dad, Yuri, and then his mother and 2 brothers. And then were Sasha and Olha.
There must be 10 graves in total.
Valak was 10th. The family line stopped with him. He was the last one.
Your son's spirit says he paid with his life for a mortal sin. We must find out who committed that sin.
I see a man. He's holding a steering wheel. A truck. And there's number 10 drawn on it. 10. 10. And then there's a blow to the head. Boom, and the person is gone. What was that?
Valak's grandfather. He was also Valak.
Did his grandpa kill someone?
As it turned out, Valak, Irina's father-in-law, worked as a truck driver. He had a fight with his partner. He hit him on the head with a brick and fled the scene.
And then I understood where those darn 10s came from. The truck had a license plate with 10s on it. That was the last thing the victim saw before dying. That is why deaths occur precisely on the 10th day of the 10th month.
The man bled for several hours and eventually died. It was on the 10th.
That's why his spirit took the lives of 10 people from his killer's family.
A year after the murder, the grandfather himself died on the same day. Concrete slabs fell on him from a truck.
The slab fell right on his head and crushed the skull.
But what can be done? What fate awaits Karina? Can she be saved from the family's terrible karma?
You must go to the church and help the injured. Those who survived but are maimed. Buy icons in the temple. Buy an icon of Virgin Mary, but don't haggle and don't accept the change. Give more than it's worth. Then cross yourself and bring it to your home. And the sum you give must be a multiple of 10. All right? And when paying for the icon, say this phrase in your mind. Lord, accept this as atonement for my sins and those of my son's family.
I will. I'm grateful to you for helping because without you, I wouldn't have known what to do.
A mysterious ghost with a pendulum is haunting a young woman. Don't miss out. The psychics will uncover a deadly love secret. Nobody has seen this beautiful woman smiling in a long time. 35-year-old Marta Konovalova from Ukraine is terrified, claiming that the ghost of her late husband, whom she, getting too emotional, cursed once during a quarrel, is out to kill her. The man suddenly died soon after the scandal.
It's all my fault.
Marta and Victor loved each other deeply. They raised 2 children and shared a close bond, always interested in each other's work.
He owned a business, and I always helped him with everything.
However, their relationship soured due to her husband's unfounded jealousy.
His jealousy became unbearable. The distrust and aggression started.
Marta was 15 years younger than Victor, and so he feared losing her. But at some point, her husband's jealousy reached absurd levels.
I wasn't allowed to wear heels or dresses. Anytime I did it, it would trigger jealousy and arguments.
But their final conflict came as a true shock for Marta.
He slapped me. I didn't know where to go or what to do.
Marta had had enough. She ran out of the apartment, broke down in tears outside, and in despair, wished her husband dead.
I said, Lord, please take him because I can't stand it anymore.
The next day, the devastated woman took her children and went to live with her mother. and after a while, Victor unexpectedly passed away. The man, just in his early 40s, suddenly suffered a stroke.
An ambulance took him. Then his parents called to say he was gone. I was deeply shocked.
Marta was inconsolable, for despite the hurt, she still loved her husband. Besides, his death was quite peculiar, as Victor had never complained about his health.
Nothing ever bothered him. I've got no clue why it happened.
Marta barely remembers how she got through her husband's funeral, but the night afterward, the man's spirit appeared to Marta in a dream and told her to join him in the afterlife.
He was calling me, but I said, no, it's too soon for me to go there.
What's even worse, the following morning, Marta nearly died on her way to work.
I was at the pedestrian crossing, and I saw the green light in front of me, but a woman behind me grabbed me and said, "Don't you see it's the red light?" I said, "No."
The stranger at the crossing actually saved her life, for at that very moment, a huge truck sped down the road.
Had I taken just one step, I wouldn't be here now. I felt like in a daze. It was something like a trance.
Marta's daughter, 16-year-old Irina, can't hold back tears at the thought of almost losing her mother that day.
Nobody could ever replace me, Mom.
And soon, Marta's late husband appeared in her dream again. He glared at her, making the same gesture over and over.
He kept pointing at his arm.
Imagine the terror Marta felt when, the next day, her daughter accidentally fell in the yard and broke her arm.
She injured it so badly that her wrist was completely dislocated.
It was shocking.
But just as her daughter's arm healed, Victor appeared in another dream, pointing at Marta's head, and a few days later, her 13-year-old son, Sasha, suffered a terrible head injury.
He went to the supermarket to buy something, and there he slipped on the wet tiles and hit his head on the back of his skull.
The boy barely made it home.
He couldn't stand up, and half of his body went numb. I immediately called an ambulance. He spent 2 days in the intensive care. They said he had a brain hemorrhage from the impact, and it could have been fatal.
Marta is certain the dreams and her children's accidents weren't coincidences. She believes Victor is trying to avenge on her from the afterlife.
My children are everything to me.
But if, at the beginning, Marta's late husband only appeared in her dreams, now she claims he has been manifesting physically lately.
I walked into the room and saw a black silhouette in the corner. It scared me to death.
Soon, Marta's children also began seeing the ghost.
A black silhouette, about 1.8 meters tall. I didn't see his face. It was terrifying.
Marta doesn't see his face either, but her late husband was the same height, so she's convinced it's him.
I saw him in a suit and white shirt, just like he was buried. I got goosebumps.
Marta is terrified for herself and her children and doesn't know where to turn for help. The psychics are her only hope. Olena Kurylova and Jana Shulakova responded to Marta's request and agreed to help.
I had a dream. I saw a dead man repeating, "I'll take them all."
So it's her late husband, Victor, and it seems he wants to take the children too.
I'm not sure about it.
Then who is that? A clock fell off the wall by itself. When I looked at it, its hands were moving backward. That seemed utterly strange.
It's a sign. I see the spirit again. He's in a suit and white shirt, holding something, like a set of keys or medallions on chains.
But who is he? A vision. A dark room, and a woman's hand is drawing a pentagram on a mirror.
Is that Marta?
Who are you? I can't see her clearly. Men pay with their lives for her love.
What?
3 deaths.
But where do we search for the answer?
The psychics and Marta arrange a meeting in the city center.
Hello.
Hello?
I've been waiting for you.
I sense darkness around you. And hands on your neck. They're choking you.
Something has been choking me every night.
I saw a man's hands choking Marta. But who was it? I couldn't see.
You dream of a complete family. A mom, a dad, and kids.
That's true.
Suddenly, I had a strange vision. A coffin with a young woman. People surrounded her. Probably her family. And a man stood there. He looked at the woman in the coffin. He loved her, and he was crying.
Was it Marta in the coffin?
I didn't see her face, I don't know, but her hair was fair. Just like yours, Marta.
Marta, do you currently have a man you love?
Yes.
Marta says she met a man not long ago, but she's even afraid to let him get close to her family, lest he become the next victim.
I worry that he might become the next victim.
Unless you become the next victim.
Yes.
But where is the danger to Marta and her children coming from? Could it really be from her late husband?
Do you have his photo?
On my phone.
I decided to look into the situation through fire. I felt the answer was in Marta's past. Victor. Just a moment. He was very romantic. At first, there were gifts and flowers. He loved you so much.
He was 15 years older. He replaced me a father, since I grew up without a father, and was my husband, friend, and confidant. He treated me very well.
And he became a true father to your daughter.
It turned out that when Marta met Victor, she already had a little daughter from her previous partner.
Marta and her first man's life soured because he didn't want the baby.
Yes.
Marta dated her daughter's future father since high school and became pregnant when she was 19. However, her boyfriend said he was too young and didn't want a baby.
I told him that no matter how hard it was, I would raise her.
At 20, the young woman found herself alone with a baby in her arms. Marta's mother occasionally worked abroad, and so her grandmother helped her with the baby.
I felt that when Marta met her second husband, he won her over with care, attention, and boundless love. That's what she lacked in her first marriage.
I felt drawn to him.
Victor noticed the young beauty in a cafe where she worked as a bartender. From then on, he visited her every day. Marta says he asked her out for their first date with her daughter, who wasn't even 3 years old then.
He loved my daughter a lot.
A few months later, Victor proposed to her, and soon Marta became pregnant again. Victor already had an adult son from his first marriage, but when he found out they were having a baby together, he was overjoyed.
However, over time, Victor's love was clouded by unfounded jealousy. But could he be haunting the woman from the other world?
Suddenly, I saw a car accident on the road. I see children in the car. Your husband is behind the wheel. And the car, it's like it's possessed. It spins wildly.
Yes, we were driving to the village. The car started spinning, but I managed to hold the children. We were all terrified.
The family survived by a miracle. But why did the clairvoyant sense that accident?
The accident was orchestrated by a supernatural force that was hunting the family even before Victor's death. It wasn't his spirit seeking revenge. He, too, became a victim of that supernatural force. And that force was the man I saw, the one with the pendulums.
Marta barely holds back tears. She says the psychics have lifted a weight off her soul.
I feel a lot better.
Marta's husband didn't cause these tragedies. Instead, he tried to warn her, her daughter, and their son about the impending danger.
But if her late husband only appeared to Marta in her dreams, who was the stranger she and her daughter saw in reality? And why is he haunting the family?
I decided to tune in to the spirit of the man with the pendulums, who, according to what I sensed, was responsible for the threat. And I saw a strange picture, like a series of photographs. I see a couple, a man and a woman holding hands. The woman is crying, but I sense that their relationship is being torn apart by a third person.
To avoid being influenced by the energy of the location where they contacted the spirit of Marta's late husband, the psychics move a bit further away.
The spirit with the pendulums comes to take something or someone. Then I heard a clock ticking. Quiet. Where is the clock?
There's no clock anywhere here.
What?
It was coming from here. We heard a clock chime. Ding ding. But where's the clock? There are no clocks nearby.
At that moment, I saw the ghost of the strange dead man again. I asked him who he was and what he wanted from Marta, but the spirit only showed me a picture. It was like a painting. I saw a bed. A woman lay in it, sick and pale, as if she was dying. I had no idea what it meant. Who was this woman? But Marta seemed to know the answer.
Mom.
Your mom?
Yes.
What happened?
She was sick. She couldn't walk, talk, or understand anything. The doctors said she had brain inflammation.
Meningitis.
Marta says her entire family was terrified when her mother suddenly fell seriously ill not so long ago.
Her eyes were like mirrors when she looked at you. She didn't understand what was going on around her. She even had hallucinations.
The disease was so severe that the woman nearly died. Doctors went to great lengths to save her life.
But now she's all right.
Yes.
It was because of what she did.
Yes.
What did your mom do?
Magic. Does your mother practice magic?
She used to. Not anymore.
I saw Marta's mother flipping through magic books, lighting candles, laying out cards, and using other magical attributes.
She bought those books, White and Black Magic. She had tarot cards. She would tell people's fortunes with them.
According to Marta, her mother turned to magic many years ago. Marta remembers her doing strange rituals since she was little.
She would light candles, perform some rituals, and even go to the cemetery at night. It was strange and wild for me.
And you tried to take her away from there. You realized it was
dangerous.
Yes, that she would be punished for it.
I feared the entire family would be punished for that.
It took Marta and her grandmother a long time to convince her mother to stop practicing magic, as they both knew it was a dangerous and frightening thing, and the consequences could be unexpected and terrible. The grandmother even burned several magic books her daughter used.
The cover had the word magic on it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't let her do that.
We told her she shouldn't do those things because there were different pentagrams at that book and those tarot cards. No matter what Grandma did, Mom would always buy a new deck.
The woman never cared what her family said, claiming she was born for magic.
She always said she loved doing those magical things. We always told her, "Don't do this because you don't know where you're sticking your nose and what could happen." "What do you know?" "I know what I'm doing," she would answer.
So perhaps your mother did something with magic. I think I saw her in a vision before the investigation.
The woman didn't turn to magic for no reason.
What's your mother's name?
Maria.
She dedicated her life to finding the man she loved through magic. I'm sorry. But here, she didn't pay as much attention to you as you pay to your children now.
Yes, I lacked love.
Like an orphan.
First, Mom would often go abroad, trading something. She was always absent.
Marta only saw her father once at the age of 20, and her mother rarely appeared in her life, as she was always working abroad or living with yet another man in another city. She left her daughter with her mother and sister, who was also raising her son alone. The girl always felt like a burden to her aunt.
She always said, "I'm obliged to put up with you, so you'll do what I tell you." I didn't have a childhood. I didn't have the family I've always dreamed of.
Marta's aunt was outraged at her carefree sister for leaving her daughter with her. And she took it out on her niece.
She treated me as an outcast in the family.
What did your mom say?
I told her, "Mom, I can't live there anymore," but she told me to wait and be patient until everything was okay.
There was a feeling that the mother simply didn't need her daughter, as the woman was always solving only her own problems.
Yes, this is true.
Since she practiced spiritism, is it possible that she summoned the force that is now killing the family?
The man with the pendulums, probably she did it. She once made pendulums, putting rings on threads.
Marta recalls her mother make the magical attribute, using her own rings.
Maybe she summoned the entity with that pendulum. And now that entity won't let our family live in peace.
Where is your mother now?
She's home.
Could we talk to her?
Absolutely.
I'd like to talk to that woman.
At first, Marta's mother, Maria, was reluctant to talk to the psychics, but she eventually agreed. The clairvoyants meet her near the building where she lives.
A spirit is threatening your family. Marta told us you used to practice magic.
Used to? I still practice it.
You still practice it?
But Marta didn't like that.
She simply didn't understand me. She didn't understand me as a mother because I always defended her. She found herself a man.
Do you mean Victor?
Yes. He did things that were just awful. And I sense it. It was me who sent him to the cemetery.
To the other world.
The woman's confession stunned us. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. What we learned next was simply shocking.
In the next episode.
What did you use to draw the pentagrams?
My own blood.
Oh my dear God.
You can't mess with me.
Back then, we didn't know the S-woman had already claimed 3 victims.
The continuation of the shocking investigation. Why is the terrible ghost with a pendulum haunting the young woman? The psychics will uncover a shocking love secret. In the previous episode, 35-year-old Marta Konovalova from Ukraine sought the help of Olena Kurylova and Jana Shulikova, claiming a murderous ghost is haunting her and her 2 children.
I walked into the room and saw a black silhouette in the corner. It scared me to death.
A black silhouette, about 1.8 meters tall. I didn't see his face.
After each encounter with the man from the other side, the family members face mortal danger. Marta was nearly hit by a truck.
Had I taken just one step, I wouldn't be here now.
Soon afterward, Marta's daughter injured her arm badly.
She injured it so badly that her wrist was completely dislocated.
And her 13-year-old son was paralyzed after a slip and fall accident at a supermarket.
He spent 2 days in the intensive care. They said he had a brain hemorrhage from the impact, and it could have been fatal.
Marta thought her late husband, Victor, was trying to kill her and her family. The ghost they see in their apartment looks very much like him.
I saw him in a suit and white shirt, just like he was buried. I got goosebumps.
However, upon investigation, the psychics sensed the ghost was not Marta's deceased husband.
He too became a victim of that supernatural force.
Then who is the man threatening the woman and her children?
I see the spirit again. He's in a suit and white shirt, holding something like a set of keys or medallions on chains.
Why is the mysterious spirit hunting Marta's family? During the investigation, Jana Shulikova kept having strange visions of a young couple.
A strange picture, like a series of photographs. I see a couple, a man and a woman, holding hands. The woman is crying, but I sense that their relationship is being torn apart by a third person.
When she tuned into the malevolent entity, Olena Kurylova had a vision of a terrifying ritual.
A dark room and a woman's hand is drawing a pentagram on a mirror.
It turned out that Marta's mother, Maria, practiced magic.
Is it possible that she summoned the force that is now killing the family?
The psychics met the woman, who made a shocking confession related to her daughter's deceased husband.
I always defended her. She found herself a man.
Do you mean Victor?
Yes, he did things that were just awful, and I sense it. It was me who sent him to the cemetery. There are many things that I don't want her to even know.
Did you work with a mirror?
I did.
What did you use to draw the pentagrams?
My own blood.
My goodness.
I opened portals.
Did you summon spirits?
Yes.
I see that all your magic was aimed at finding a husband as your first love ended in heartbreak.
Yes.
The man abandoned you pregnant.
Yes.
He simply turned his back and left.
He said he already had a woman he was planning to marry. Mom raised me on her own.
I understood that the woman had read books full of absurd ritual recipes and decided she was a great sorceress. But it's not a game.
1, 2, 3. 3 dead men. They're all your men.
Marta says she was always shocked to learn of the death of her yet another stepfather. One was a victim of a street fight, another committed suicide, and the third died of pancreatic cancer.
Mom never had long-lasting relationships. They would die. Then she'd find another man, live with him for a while, and he'd die too.
We immediately thought that the woman might have summoned the spirit with pendulums, who killed her 3 husbands, her son-in-law, and then started hunting Marta.
Men pay with their lives for her love. Your magic turned against you.
Perhaps the woman herself suffered because of her magic, as a few months ago, she fell ill with a severe form of meningitis. She was bedridden for a long time and only survived by a miracle.
But the cards showed me that the killer spirit appeared not because of her magic. She had nothing to do with her son-in-law's death. And I sensed the dead man with the pendulums attached himself to the family because he needed something from them.
The psychics say goodbye to Marta's mother and proceed with the investigation, trying to find the reason why the man's ghost is haunting the family.
You know, tuning into him, I see a picture. It's like a painting. It's a wedding. The bride's eyes are filled with tears.
Give me your hand. I sense an old house. Your family is connected to it.
Yes, we have a house. My great-grandfather and great-grandmother were from Poland. The whole family used to live in that house. Now, it's our summer cottage.
It turned out Marta had already witnessed the ghost and a strange shadow in the country house several times.
My daughter Irina has also seen it many times. She said she would never stay in that house alone, no matter what.
During her most recent visit, Marta noticed the eerie shadow again and decided to record it on video.
Look at the wall.
A shadow.
That's him.
The man with the pendulums?
That's him. Oh. This sound.
What do you hear?
A clock.
I clock ticking all around us. And then I realized that the ghost I kept seeing wasn't holding medallions or pendulums. They were pocket watches. The spirit was holding watches on chains.
It really does look like a pendulum. That's why every appearance of the spirit was connected to clocks and watches. Quiet. Is there a clock anywhere here?
There's no clock in here.
The answer was buried underground, and soon we found it. But at that moment, we had to figure out who the spirit with the watches was. And then Marta told us something really astonishing.
My great-grandfather was a watchmaker. He repaired pocket watches like these. We heard ticking all the time in the house.
He started repairing watches back in Poland, in Przemysl.
After moving from Poland to Ukraine, the man became a renowned watchmaker.
His entire room was filled with watches. He had a collection of those old watches on chains.
What was his name?
Mikhailo.
The murderous spirit has watches in his hands. And if he's bound to that house, we need to go there. As soon as we entered the yard, I noticed someone watching us. It was him, the spirit with the watches. He keeps coming here, and he even leaves traces.
Once I came here, the grass was parted, as if someone had walked through it.
He wants something from here.
As soon as we entered the room, I felt a sudden weakness. I couldn't catch my breath.
All right, hold up.
What was it? Could it be a simple power outage?
It felt like the lights went out for a reason. That ghost was close by.
Marta says that strange things happen with the electricity in this house, even though the wiring was recently replaced during renovations.
Yes, he's here.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Do you see what's going on here?
I see an image again. It's like a photograph. The same young man and woman I saw before. The man stands by her, embracing and kissing her. But it feels like their relationship was destroyed, like the girl's life was cut short. Who are those people? What does it have to do with the watchmaker's spirit? And what does Marta's family have to do with this all? The cards say that it wasn't the ghost of her grandfather that Marta saw. It's not his spirit that the family keeps seeing.
It's not even funny.
I'm scared and feel a chill.
And then I suddenly heard a whisper. It was the voice of Marta's great-grandfather. He told me, "The cause is in the antique watch."
Your great-grandpa had many watches, didn't he?
Yes.
Where are they now?
The watches. During the renovation, the workers put them all in a pile somewhere. I don't know where they put them.
Marta says that after her great-grandfather's death, some watches were thrown away, while relatives took others.
One of the great-grandfather's antique watches held a secret. We needed to find the watch as soon as possible.
It's somewhere here. My senses led me outside. The man's voice said the watch was where the water was. No, not here.
Could it be where the rainwater drains?
Where does it drain?
Here and there.
The watch stopped.
Search where the watch stopped. Seek there.
Underground? Give me a knife or something.
I can bring a shovel.
The earth was hard and it was difficult to dig.
My heart's thumping. What did you find?
Look.
A watch. I see a chain. It's a watch.
Oh my God.
I was shocked. It apparently spent a lot of time buried underground. But how did it get there?
It could be an evil charm.
Give me a handkerchief.
Is it your great-grandfather's?
He had lots of such watches. He had plenty of pocket watches.
Maybe when they were taking the things out, it fell here?
Let's check it. It's not a curse.
But the ghost is coming back here because of this watch specifically.
But why would he need it?
You know what I see? There was a lid that covered the dial. And on the lid, I made out a picture. A young man watches a girl walking by. It was like love at first sight. I saw them earlier today. They are the same couple I've seen in all the pictures. It felt like the watch was part of a collection. And the images I saw throughout the investigation seemed to be the designs on the lids of antique watches. There were 7 of them. And they were somehow connected to the girl whom the man loved during his lifetime.
But why was this watch here? There were these strange sounds coming from the roof. It was just terrifying.
I see him. The spirit with the pocket watches in his hands. Exactly like the one we found, was standing in front of me. He was tall and thin, and had a good-looking, handsome face. The man was around 40, and he was wearing a dark suit and a white shirt like those from the past. I asked the spirit who he was and why he was haunting Marta and her family. He said, I asked them not to sell it.
Did someone sell this watch to someone else? Maybe to my grandfather?
It's his watch. He made a series, a collection of watches. There are 6 more. He was a watchmaker, like your grandfather.
The cards revealed that the man depicted himself and the girl, the love of his life, on those watches.
He says, this is the story of my tragic love for Anna. He showed me these pictures so I could see and feel his love. Each watch depicted a fragment of their tragic relationship. The young man first sets eyes on the young beauty. Their meeting and first date. The girl tells him that her parents are giving her in marriage to a wealthy man. The bride's tears at her wedding to another man, and soon after, her illness and death. Many years have passed since the girl's death. He finds himself in dire straits. He goes to sell his collection of watches to a jeweler, asking him not to sell it and saying he'll buy it back. It's my memory and the memory of my love. But he was deceived. The jeweler sells the watches and he sells them to different people.
And he's now searching for his watches, right?
Yes. His spirit is visiting everyone who has one of those watches, trying to reclaim the only thing left from his love.
After the investigation, our journalists began searching for the information to confirm or refute the psychic's words. They discovered that the psychics had sensed real events that took place a century ago, linked to a famous jeweler, Boris Granovsky.
In 1916, a stranger approached the jeweler with a collection of pocket watches in an antique style. Under each lid, there were pictures painted with enamel. He asked for 35 rubles. And at that time, you could buy a small house for 30 rubles.
The jeweler quickly sold the watches to wealthy customers who could afford such valuable items. However, those who purchased them seemingly faced misfortune.
4 of the buyers unexpectedly went bankrupt. 1 shot himself in the head. 3 others died suddenly. Another was robbed and murdered, and the 7th simply disappeared without a trace. The jeweler himself emigrated abroad, and his fate remains unknown.
Nobody knows what happened to the watches or where they are now, but what does Marta's family have to do with this? How did one of the 7 watches from the collection end up with her great-grandfather?
Someone brought it to him to repair.
Mom told me the story. A young man brought the watch. It had no lid, and he couldn't find one anywhere.
And he left the watch and never came back. He suddenly passed away, and the watch remained with the great-grandfather. The spirit isn't here to harm Marta's family. He wants his watch back. But his each appearance brings mortal danger to those he encounters.
Why does the man want those watches? If he's dead, he should have met his woman in the afterlife.
No. They didn't meet because he seems to have given an oath.
Until he finds them all, right?
He vowed during his lifetime to return all those watches, as they were his life. And he didn't fulfill his vow.
It was an unfinished mission for the watchmaker. And spirits with unfinished missions cannot pass into the afterlife. He won't meet the woman he loves until he finds all the 7 watches.
This is the last one, and the spirit won't stop until he takes back this watch. But this is very dangerous for Marta and her family.
But how do we end it?
There's only one way to give the ghost what belongs to him. It's through the cemetery.
We needed to find a grave with the same name as the girl the man loved.
Marta says that her great-grandmother, who had the same name, Anna, is buried in the local cemetery.
I read the incantation to contact the spirit and return him the 7th watch.
Take what you want and leave us alone.
He accepted it.
I felt warmth. It felt like a release.
Through the fire, I opened a portal so that the watchmaker's spirit could depart.
Suddenly, I saw the image of a young girl and I understood that she was the watchmaker's sweetheart. She was waiting for him, whom she loved during her life and still loved beyond the grave.
I'm so grateful to you. Finally, the 2 souls have found peace.